Good evening. You know that when we make videos, people approach us on WhatsApp and they share their queries on the WhatsApp. And honestly speaking, if I'm finding that this query deserves a reply, I always give a reply. While if I believe that this query is time pass query or it is only to waste my time, I simply discredit this query. Last week, a person, I titled him as X in my video. He works in a bank in India. He approached me on a WhatsApp that he worked in a bank, say B, and he spent 6 years in this bank and now he's looking for a change. And very honestly, he did told me that he applied in 6 different financial institutions, say PQR, and he received rejection in all these financial institutions. And then he said that he went to YouTube and somehow he got our channel. And then from this day, he becoming a fan of our channel. And he asked me a question that how come you know all these things, irrespective of the fact that you never worked in a bank? Because that's a fact that I never worked in a bank. I worked as a corporate treasurer. I interacted with banks, and even today, I'm interacting with banks. The only difference is previously I was interacting on behalf of my employer, but now I am interacting since I am employer. So this is the difference. And most importantly, this person asked me that how come he failed in the 6 interviews consecutively in less than 4 months, knowing that he worked in a bank, say B, in so and so domain. I told him to connect me on a Skype and I explained him via a story. And later he realized that story. And then he requested me to share this story on, as a video. And as a request, I'm making this video. Time is very limited, but still I'm ordered by my God, Mahadev, that I am here to spread my knowledge, and that is why I'm making videos. Because to me, it hardly makes any difference how many likes, comment, and all these things I'm getting. Hardly make any difference to me. So I told him a story, and that story I'm going to be sharing with you. And this is a story of our lives also, actually. So long ago, there used to be a king, and he used to live in a very lavish palace, very big army, so on and so forth. One fine day, a light drizzling was going on, and a forest was very next to his palace. So, just a casual thought in his mind that he thought, let's have a walk because a light drizzling is going on, weather is very good, let's have a walk. He entered inside the forest, which was very near to his palace, with a very limited team of him. He thought that the walk would wind up in another 40-45 minutes, so there is no need to carry much water and food. So, on his instructions, the team carried a very little water and little food. But the king was not aware that what is going to get happen with him in the next 40 odd minutes would change the life of that king throughout. In fact, this story also changed the life of many people to whom I taught. So what happened that a light drizzling was going on and a king entered forest with a very little team of him, and as a curiosity, he started chasing a peacock. Slowly and steadily, they went inside the forest, and all of a sudden, a sun went down. So during these days, there not used to be a mobile phone or GPS or artificial intelligence. Everything was based upon sun. Like if sun is up, that is okay. Light is coming. If sun is down, you need to be at your home. You know. So that king was frightened that all of a sudden the sun went down. It's an evening time. I'm carrying a very little team. He inquired from his team and asked that what is the position of water and food, and the team brazenly said that the water is over and we left with a very little food. Very good. It means you are inside a forest with a limited team size, water is out, and a food is little. And they also lost their way. So of course they are going to get frightened. It's not to repeat. He started praying to God that God help me. It was my mistake. I went inside the forest with a very limited team, so on and so forth. The God heard him and they just walk few steps ahead and they found out a man who was crossing that forest. The emperor was not aware about the man, neither the team who was with the emperor was aware that who is this man. But the team inquired from the emperor that this is how we lost the way and we left with almost hardly any food and water is over and our king is feeling thirsty and he is also hungry that do you have a food and water? That person was a poor man. So he offered his water and food to the king. The king really thanked him and said that thank you very much for offering the water and the food. And I'm really glad that you saved me. By that time, it was almost a night. And king then requested that man that, if you have some time or you can take this, my request, you please let me back to my palace because we already lost our way. That person was very used to the forest area and he knows that how to enter and how to exit. So he that's okay, okay, sir, we will help you. I will help you. He led the king back to the palace along with his team. And the king went very happy and said that thankfully the mistake which I committed do not end up with my life and also the life of my team members. So he gave his ring. So you know that I hope you saw in the movies also the king used to wear a lot of rings. And when they used to feel happy, they used to offer the ring. So he just take one of his ring and give to that person and said that as and when you feel like you visit my palace, you just show this ring to a guard who's standing outside and he will allow you to enter inside no matter what. You please rest assured. And I really once again thank you for saving my life and my team. And then the king and that relevant person part their ways. After a few days, the wife of that person inquired from him that, what is this ring all about? How did you get it? And so on and so forth. So that person narrated the whole story to his wife that this is how it has happened and so on and so forth. The wife then said that then you should visit the king and request for the help, like he did requested a help from you, that we are poor people and maybe he is able to help us. But before I move forward, I it's my duty to inform you that that person profession was to cut out the trees and then divide it into small pieces and sell it out to a vendor who was in the village. So basically in Hindi we call dakadhara, a woodcutter. In English we can say. So he was a woodcutter. So he went to the palace. He showed that ring to the guard. The guard allowed him to enter inside, and the king immediately recognized him and said that, my friend, I was waiting for you. Thank you very much for coming. And before you narrate anything, you first have your lunch, take some break, rest, and then we'll speak. So he had his lunch, lavish lunch, and then the king take him to his personal chamber and said that now please tell me what you want. The king narrated the whole story, already narrated the whole story to his wife, and said and he informed his wife that he is the same person to whom I told you that day. And the princess recognizes that story and said, "Thank you very much for saving the life of my husband." So what happened? That king asked him that now please tell me how can I help you. He said that, "Sir, I am that not very affluent person. You please help me. My wife asked me to come to you and ask for a help." The king said, "That is not a concern. That is not a concern." So king said that, "Okay, there is a farm of mine which is having the most valuable wood, I'm holding, which is called Chandan ki lakdi. You know, it is said that Chandan is the most and the rarest thing we are holding in this world. So he offered his farm, which was very big in terms of plantation, and the whole plantation was Chandan ki lakdi. Because the king checked from him that who are you, what is your profession. So according to his profession, he offered him a farm with a Chandan ki lakdi. Actually, king was a thought that this person is a woodcutter. He cutting the normal wood and then slicing and dicing into small pieces and then selling it to somebody in the village. So let me offer him the complete form of the Chandan ki lakdi, and this way he'll sell a small Chandan ki lakdi, and he get a lot of money. In fact, many of his generation, there is no need for them to earn money. The king was absolutely right at his place. His decision was also right, but he was not aware that he is actually giving this precious gift to somebody who even do not understand how precious is the gift. So this is the moral of the story number one. Number one, there are many morals in this story. Sometimes we give a precious gift to somebody, a gift which may turn around a life of somebody, which may turn around a career prospect of somebody, which may offer him somebody a very detailed explanation of a very complicated concept, which may offer somebody a connect with a very affluent person who can help him or her. And we can have n number of permutation combination, but that in our eyes, we are giving him something very sensible and precious. I repeat, sensible and precious, but the person on the other side is not capable enough to understand it. Henceforth, he wasted. There are n number of examples in that regard. Henceforth, when you are giving a gift to somebody and you are expecting that he is going to be recognizing the way you recognizing that gift, then this is wrong, because I strongly believe that it may or might not happen. Henceforth, don't believe in the expectation. You just do your duty and rest leave to the God. God will take a final call whether you did your duty honestly or not. So similarly, king offered him a farm, a land full of plantation of Chandan ki lakdi, which is very costly. But the king was not aware that the person on the other side barely understand that, and what this person did foolishly. He started cutting tree after tree, and the same way he used to cut the whole tree, slice and dice into small pieces, and he used to sell it to the same person who was in the village. That person was a shrewd man. And he immediately recognized that the wood which he is coming up with, that woodcutter, he's coming up with, that woodcutter is actually coming up the wood of a king, which is under the control of the king. And king offered him that farmland. And that wood which he's giving to me is so precious that even if I'm going to be sell myself, I won't be able to pay the price of that wood. But this person that relevant person to whom he's going to sell in the village. This person never revealed this story, this the actual reality to that woodcutter. And the woodcutter was not very educated man, not very knowledgeable man, so he failed to recognize the difference between a normal wood and chandan ki lakdi. Days come, pass, and a situation has come when almost the whole plantation, whole plantation is sold out to that person in the village, almost throwaway price. Because common sense that chandan ki lakdi is such an expensive thing, and if you are selling at a throwaway price, everyone is going to buy it. On the contrary, the person to whom he's going to be selling, he becoming richer every possible day, because he know that he's buying a very precious thing, almost at a throwaway price. But in between, an accident happened, and that an accident is that one day the kid of that woodcutter came to his farmland, and he requested for a long leaf of the wood to make something to play with, and as a father he offered him the long leaf of the wood to play with. And that kid carried this, that long leaf of the wood to his home and kept at his home. So when the whole plantation was cut down after many years of the gift given by the king, that person was very sad and said that now the whole plantation is done. The ring which was given by the king was also returned to the king. King already done with his help. Now what to do? So both he and his wife look at that long leaf of the wood, and his wife said, "This is the long leaf of the wood you given to your son to play. You do the slicing, dicing, and sell it in the market, and then we'll see what we can make out. We'll see." What happened when he entered the market? He found out that the person to whom he used to sell, he died few days ago, and his whole emperor, the business was handed over to his son. So that person to whom he used to sell the chandan ki lakdi, he actually died, and that the whole business now handed over to his son. Like I told you that he used to give such a precious thing, chandan ki lakdi, almost free of cost to that person. So that person becoming richer every possible day. And the son used to heard the story from his father that there used to be a customer who used to sell chandan ki lakdi at a throwaway price. So that the kid, the boy of that buyer immediately recognizes the woodcutter, but he was not a shrewd person like his father. He was a very gentle person. So when this, the woodcutter approached him, said that, "Sir, this is the final thing I left with. I'm selling, and after that, I left with nothing because whatever I had, I already sold it out to your father. But unfortunately, he passed away." He expressed his grief because, of course, he used to be his customer, seller, buyer. His son said, since he used to be a novice person, he said that, "My dear friend, my father was a shrewd man, but I'm not. And I'm thanking you for selling us a precious thing, almost throwaway price." And I used to tell to my father that, "Father, you are buying such a precious thing at a throwaway price. You will not be able to carry the whole money with you in the heaven." And the same thing happened, because when we come, we are zero. When we go, we are zero. What we going to be carrying? But this person told to woodcutter that, "I'm not like my father. You sold out things worth millions, millions, and we gave you fractional of that. I'm not like my father, and I am ready to give you your actual price, what you deserve. So what he did that he offered him whatever the actual price he actually deserved. And that day, this person, the woodcutter, also become a richer man, and he lived very peacefully afterwards. And this is the moral second. We are here to help people. We are not here to use them for our purpose. So if we are here for help and somebody coming and he deserves a fair price, then we should give that fair price to that person, maybe in terms of motivation, in terms of any useful help, and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know why did I told you this story? Because this story actually relates to our life. Many a times we ended up with a very precious thing which we do not understand. And we started believing that the God has given nothing to us. And we started creeping every possible day, every possible day. But after some time, when we get a real check, we get to know that God has given us something which He has not given to anybody. But we've not only failed to recognize this, but also crept to God almost every possible day. How are we going to be repent for this? When we work in industry, we barely understand where we are working. Because we always tend to be like a person who being asked to go straight, which is called go straight, and we hardly look left and right. We never ask any question from the person that why are we doing this? This person who sent a WhatsApp to me worked in a bank for 6 years. And even after working in a bank for 6 years, he failed to answer me three simple questions, which is what is CVA, credit valuation adjustment? What is the difference between a venture fund and a private credit fund? And what is the interest rate swaps? Three simple questions I checked with him. Because we means wake up, go to office, do our work, come back, watch TV, sleep. Simple. I tell you, in 2007, when I joined the treasury function, I used to request the banks to add my corporate email ID to the research reports of the bank. And then the bank used to ask me that we are sending these research reports to hundreds of people every possible day. And when we visit them, their office, and check them, sir, do you even bother to read? They reply that no, we don't have the time. And you are the only person we meet who is saying that I want this research report. So kindly add my email ID in the so and so distribution list. Because I was aware from the very first day that my corporate career is not going to be for long. A day would come when I am supposed to quit and start my own business, and I have to prepare myself for that eventful day since day one of my corporate career. Because I was aware that that this lakdi is not a normal lakdi. This is a chandan ki lakdi. So I'm not going to sell this at throwaway price. I should know the price of that. I worked in a treasury function, and every possible day I start learning something which was even not the part of my corporate career. In my 10 years of corporate career, none of my employers took options, but I wrote my first book on options. Because to me, one thing was very clear that you take options or you do not take options. That is your corporate call, but that will not prohibit me not to learn options. And forget options. I am going to be learning a very complicated options also, which I am aware. And maybe if the God willing, I would be started making a videos on that. It's all depend upon the time. Ladies and gentlemen, our life is very precious. Very precious. If we speak, in terms of preciousness, then I doubt whether I'm able to explain this. But very important thing is that we are not here to waste it. In our corporate career, we tend to learn what is asked us to learn. As simple as that. We never intend to learn something new. Bankers, students, even some cases, the government employees, in few cases, the other people also contacted us, and let me tell you, I'm going to be asking one question from everybody. Suppose your salary is 10,000. Just take a simple example. When was the last time you bought a book, maybe from a market, Amazon, Flipkart, pick any place? I respect all. Book for yourself, and by book, I mean to say a book which provides you the knowledge. When was the last time you bought the book for yourself? And most of the time, people come to me and say that they even forget buying a book, they are even not reading a newspaper in a day. Literally, how many of us are reading a business newspaper in a day? That is quintessential. Quintessential means it is must. I cannot run away from that. I have to drink water every day. That is quintessential. I cannot run away from that. I have to take food to survive. It is quintessential. I cannot run away from that. I need a sleep of 6-7 hours. It is quintessential. I cannot run away from that. I may wear this t-shirt or some other t-shirt. That is not quintessential. That is not quintessential. I may take this pen or some other pen. That is not quintessential. But for a person who worked in a financial industry, a person who work in an industry which is changing after every possible hour, how can you say that you are not reading a business newspaper in a day? And even if I assume you are reading a business newspaper in a day, for a minute I assume, if you are not making a sense out of it, it is also of no use. Because there is a wide difference between quantity and quality. This I understood when I was 17 or 18, that the difference in the life is either quantity or quality. Either I can chase the quantity or I can chase the quality. And I decided to chase the quality. Even if I read a business newspaper in a day, I'm not been able to make out a 5% of that. A 5% of that newspaper. What is the use of reading that newspaper? Tell me, what is the use of reading that newspaper? What I'm making out from this? How many times we can read a business newspaper and take a cutting out of it and then see that what exactly the author or the editor or whatever person name XYZ wanted to convey? Whether we able to understand this, can we take this knowledge forward or not? This is our life is not different from the life of that woodcutter. God, the Almighty, the superpower, He blessed us with this farm. But we are cutting this, slicing this in the smaller parts and selling this to, say, so and so at a throwaway price. The most quintessential thing in the life is to understand that what exactly we are looking forward, what difference we can make, and what exactly we are looking forward and difference we can make means positive, not negative, positive. What positive thing I can make in this world? Steve Jobs, iPhone, iPad, iMac, Airbook. What not this person done for us? What not this person done for us? He's remembered for all the goods he done for us. Warren Buffett, he told the world that what is investment, what is the actual meaning of investment, how you can be a good portfolio manager, what you should do, what you should not do. He people regard him, and even after him, people going to regard him. That's very important. They are not the only people. There are endless people. Endless people. But the point is whether we wish to create our life as an example, or we wish to be the same woodcutter who is cutting up precious wood, which is worth millions, and selling at throwaway price. This is the moral of the story I told to that person, and I'm telling to you. To me, one thing is very clear, that each day is a different day. Each day I am supposed to be actionable. Each day I am supposed to learn something new. And when I'm saying that I'm supposed to learn something new, I mean to say which is completely practical in nature. There is no scope of theory in this. Complete practical things. I still and would continue to thank you to a great nuclear scientist, Einstein. He said that if you claim that you understood a very complicated subject, but you cannot explain this so called complicated concept in a layman manner to a layman person, you're not understood it. Knowledge is not about reading from the book. Knowledge is about reading from the book and making it concrete. What Steve Jobs has said, everything around us is made up by the people who are not smarter than you. You have to make it. You have to make it more larger, make your life a meaningful life. And when I'm saying meaningful means, I means positivity. I repeat, positivity. So the very important thing is, am I the same woodcutter who got wood worth billions and billions and billions and I'm selling it at throwaway price? It means, am I wasting my time, the precious time given by the God, the precious experience given by the God, the precious resources given by the God, and am I wasting this? That's our goal. To me, it hardly makes any difference how many likes and dislikes and all these things are right, because like I told you, that I believe what Mahadev told me, and Mahadev told me very clear thing, that I'm here to spread my awareness in a positive way. And that's I'm doing. It's pleasure speaking with you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rahul Magan. You have my number, but you can still note 9899242978. 9899242978. Thank you.